Have you ever watched a concert and suddenly forgotten about the music for just 1 second because something so small, so quiet, made your heart stop? That was exactly what happened in Munich. Thousands of voices were filling the stadium. Purple lights stretched farther than the eye could see. The energy was electric, almost overwhelming. And yet, somehow, one tiny moment stole every bit of attention away from the spectacular stage. It wasn't fireworks. It wasn't a dance break. It wasn't even one of the biggest songs of the night. It was a glance. A single glance from Taehyung. You guys, can we talk about that? Because if you blinked, you probably missed it. But the fans who caught it haven't stopped talking ever since. From the very beginning of BTS Munich Day 2 concert, the atmosphere felt different. The stadium was overflowing with excitement, every section glowing purple as ARMY sang before the members even stepped onto the stage. The second the lights dimmed, the screams became almost deafening. 7 silhouettes appeared. The music exploded. And suddenly, 70,000 hearts were beating together. Everything looked perfect. Or at least, that's what it looked like from far away. As the performance continued, Jungkook gave everything he had, just like he always does. His expressions were fierce. His vocals were unbelievably stable. His movements were sharp, confident, powerful. The kind of performance that reminds everyone why he's one of the greatest performers of his generation. But then, something incredibly subtle happened. During one transition between songs, some fans noticed Jungkook appeared to slow down briefly. It lasted only a moment. Maybe he was simply catching his breath after an intense sequence. Maybe it was nothing unusual at all. But before anyone could process it, Taehyung looked over. Not dramatically. Not in a way meant to draw attention. Just naturally. Instinctively. Honestly, that's what made it feel so real. There wasn't a smile. There wasn't a joke. For the briefest second, his eyes seemed to linger on Jungkook just a little longer than before. Did you notice it too? That tiny pause. That almost invisible check-in. It's impossible to know exactly what Taehyung was thinking, but fans immediately began discussing the moment online because it felt like the quiet kind of care that can't be rehearsed. The music never stopped. The choreography continued. The crowd kept screaming. But suddenly, some people weren't watching the entire stage anymore. They were watching the space between two members. Because sometimes, the smallest moments become the loudest memories. And just when you think that was all, another moment appeared. Jungkook adjusted his posture for a brief second before continuing the performance with the same determination everyone knows him for. Again, no one outside the members themselves can know what he was feeling physically in that moment. Maybe it was simply fatigue after an incredibly demanding performance. Maybe it was just part of moving through complex choreography. But fans couldn't help noticing how quickly Taehyung's attention seemed to return to him whenever they were close together on stage. Not enough for casual viewers to notice. More like the kind of instinct you have when someone important to you is nearby. You know what I mean? The kind where you don't even realize you're checking on someone. You just do. That's what made this moment resonate with so many people. Because BTS have spent years together. Thousands of rehearsals. Countless flights. Sleepless nights. Incredible victories. Difficult moments no cameras ever captured. You build a connection through all of that. Not one that needs words. Not one that needs dramatic gestures. Sometimes, it's simply one glance. 1 second. One quiet expression. And somehow, everyone understands. The stadium itself almost felt alive. Purple lightsticks moved like waves across the darkness. The bass echoed through the seats. Every chorus became louder than the one before. The members smiled. Ran across the stage. Connected with every corner of the audience. Yet hidden inside all that overwhelming excitement, there remained these unbelievably human moments. Moments reminding us that behind global superstars are 7 people who have spent years looking out for one another. Can we just appreciate that? Because that's something fans have always admired. Not just the performances. Not just the vocals. Not just the choreography. But the relationships. The quiet understanding. The comfort. The trust. Taehyung didn't need to say anything. There wasn't a microphone picking up concern. There wasn't an announcement. Nothing dramatic happened. And maybe that's exactly why people were so emotional. Because genuine care often looks incredibly ordinary. It's almost invisible. Until you notice it. Then suddenly, you can't look away. Social media quickly filled with clips from different angles. Fans slowed videos down frame by frame. Everyone was pointing out different details. Did you see where Taehyung looked? Was it just me? That moment made me emotional. Of course, everyone interpreted the scene differently, and without hearing directly from the members, it's impossible to know exactly what they were thinking. But one thing became very clear. That tiny interaction touched people. Not because anyone wanted to speculate, but because it reminded them why BTS feels so different. Their chemistry has never depended on scripted moments. It's built through years of shared experiences. Years of silently understanding one another. And honestly, those moments sometimes become more memorable than the biggest stage effects. Then came another explosive performance. The music intensified. The choreography demanded everything. Jungkook once again delivered with remarkable professionalism, earning enormous cheers from the crowd. If he had been feeling any strain at all, he continued performing with incredible determination, something fans deeply admire. Meanwhile, Taehyung's expressions gradually softened again. He smiled toward the audience. Played with the cameras. Interacted with ARMY. The atmosphere returned to pure celebration. Or at least, that's how it seemed. Because once you've noticed a tiny emotional moment, you start seeing everything differently. Every smile feels warmer. Every glance feels more meaningful. Every shared laugh between the members carries even more weight. And that's the magic of BTS. They don't just perform songs. They create memories that people replay over and over. Not because of perfection, but because of humanity. Because even inside one of the biggest concerts imaginable, there was still room for quiet concern. For silent understanding. For friendship that didn't need words. And just when it felt like the emotions had settled, another small interaction between the members caught the attention of fans, making everyone wonder if there was even more happening beneath the surface of that unforgettable night in Munich.